It's Wednesday, January 28th. A chaotic commute Tuesday night as an LRT train stops in the middle of rush hour. Some city councilors want the city to make it up to riders as issues on Line 1 continue.
The roads weren't much better yesterday, with OPP officers responding to several collisions on the 401 between Kingston and Toronto during sudden snow squalls.
Air Miles really needed a name change more than anything else. It's called Air Miles. It's got an airplane for its logo, but the brand has evolved over the years.
And one of Canada's longest running rewards program is rebranding. We'll tell you what this means for you if you collect Air Miles. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Good morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Rosie is away for today.
She's away today. We got a jam-packed show. We're going to talk with Dr. Paul today, a local event. We're going to obviously touch in with Bill Carroll, and we're going to talk about the conditions because I actually feel like, I know it's so cold outside compared to our seasonal temperatures, but it does feel like it just is a little bit warm compared to what we've seen. And it's just like, is it ever going to end?
Trust me. My text message to my husband yesterday was, I am sick of driving in winter conditions, and I'm also sick of the cold. It seems like every day we're dealing with another storm and colder conditions. The forecast gets better.
Oh, look at that's the tease that we need on this Wednesday. All right, more details coming up. We'll start with our news headlines, and we're back to the OC Transpo talk, as OC Transpo has outlined a plan to fix the new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders are complaining after there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute. While the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video saying the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period and that everyone aboard was held on it for a full hour before they were allowed to evacuate and walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. These images you see here were captured at Lion Station. There was such little room on the platforms that people actually had to go and wait on the stairs. Some riders suggest there was little information provided, and this comes as OC Transpo provides more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop, a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
Right now, there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and a large closure between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly, no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle carrying loads of leafy greens. Police say she was not badly injured.
We are learning how much it's going to cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417.
Canada's Prime Minister is standing firm amid a suggestion from the Trump administration that he is softening his tone since his speech in Davos.
To be absolutely clear, and I said this to the president, I meant what I said in Davos. It was clear, it was a broader set of issues, that Canada was the first country to understand the change in U.S. trade policy that he had initiated, and we're responding to that.
Carney says he stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China. But 12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
Spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Carney says he reiterated in his conversation with Trump that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China, and Carney says Trump understood that.
Hospital food has never been anything to write home about, but the Ottawa Hospital is hoping to change that. The hospital teamed up with restaurateur Stephen Bechta to create the menu focused on calories, protein, and fiber. It includes a Spanish omelet with roast potatoes and tomato salsa, buttered chicken and mushroom and lentil soup, and root vegetable chips. The trial menu was piloted last year for some units at the General, and it had some positive reviews.
What we want to do is have that reset, make sure that our menu is both healthy, nutritious, and delicious, have meals that patients want to eat, and will ideally lead to positive patient recovery.
The hospital serves around 3,000 meals every day. The pilot project took place on 4 units at the General campus, but there's no timeline on the full rollout.
That food does look delicious, by the way.
It does, right? And it's so nice if you've ever been to the hospitals, too. It's like a part of getting better and feeling better.
Yeah.
Has a lot to do with what you eat, so a step in the right direction.
A strong divvy away from when I ordered fresh fruit and I got a fruit cup.
Yeah.
When I was pregnant and having my children.
Oh, that would be much better.
Well, NASA has confirmed the rocket that will take Canadian Jeremy Hansen and 3 other astronauts to the moon is on track and even ahead of schedule for a crucial test.
Yeah, that test is expected to happen as early as Saturday, leading up to a simulated liftoff at 9 p.m. And if all goes well, NASA may narrow down a target launch date. It is currently planned for no earlier than February 6th.
Hansen and his colleagues entered quarantine on Friday, and they will circle the moon and return home in preparation for another crew touching down on the lunar surface next year. Exciting. We know this has been years in the making, so it's getting closer, which is great.
It is, and the fact that it might get even earlier and earlier. Obviously, a lot has to go with that liftoff testing and make sure everything's okay. But it's so cool when you think about all the precautions they take, like they're going into quarantine, circling around, like there's just so much that goes into these plans.
Absolutely.
We'll have to keep track to see if everything goes well.
Exciting stuff.
All right.
And our forecast, I told you, it's going to get better. You're going to love the 7-day forecast in terms of the weekend onwards. Okay, that's when it gets better. So we do have a couple of colder days still, and we could still see some snow this week. Right now, minus 20. So yes, a cold start to your morning. There is a risk of frostbite out there. It does feel closer to minus 25 with the wind chill this hour. So we are dealing with cold conditions this morning. You can see chilly across the region, minus 18 currently out in Kingston, but nice clear skies. That's the difference. Yesterday we dealt with cloudy skies and snow throughout most of the day. Today we're going to see sunshine. So hardly anything to see throughout the afternoon except for sunshine. So we will see sunshine this morning in through the afternoon. Then this evening, it looks like around 8, 9 o'clock, we could start to see a few scattered flurries, but thankfully most of us will probably be indoors. Those flurries will continue overnight and kind of some spotty flurries. We will see flurries tomorrow as well as on Friday. But then as we head into the weekend, everything will clear out and we will get to see lots of sunshine heading into the weekend and warmer conditions on the way as well, because it has been quite cold for some time. Today's daytime high still below seasonal. We will reach a high of minus 10 into the afternoon. We'll still feel closer to minus 15 with that wind chill, but hey, at least we're getting to see some sunshine out on your Wednesday. And temperatures across the region very similar to what we're dealing with here in the city. Minus 10 for Ottawa, same within the valley. Minus 11 in Pembroke, in Bancroft today. Minus 10 in Kemptville. Minus 8 for Kingston as well as in Trenton. Minus 10 is also the daytime high in Petawawa. Minus 11 over in Kittigan-Zippy. So here's where you're going to see that shift, our 7-day forecast. Today and through Friday, still cold, temperatures below seasonal in the minus double digits. Sunshine for today, overnight dropping to minus 16. Chance of scattered flurries Thursday and through Friday, but then Saturday and through the weekend forecast, we are seeing lots of sunshine on the way, and temperatures much warmer as February enters the chat. Yes, it is Groundhog Day on Monday. Will he see his shadow or not? That's what we all want to find out, but we'll have to wait till Monday. The good news is temperatures are looking much better. Relief on the way. We will see single digits, still in the minus single digits, but relief on the way as we head into Sunday and next week. On your drive-in right now, here's a live look at your time-saver traffic. We aren't seeing any major issues east to west. Traffic is smooth sailing this hour, and we are collision-free. Now here's your TSN must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we head to Montreal, where the Canadiens were hosting the Golden Knights. Habs on the power play in OT. Cole Caulfield shot stop. Juraj Slafkovsky robbed. Akira Schmid. Check this out. He's got the glove ready to save the game, and it delivers, sending Slafkovsky into a state of awe. Can't believe what he just witnessed. What was it? Our must-see moment. That's what it was. Tonight on TSN, we've got a P-Dub doubleheader for you. The Toronto Scepters facing the Montreal Victoire, and then it's the Vancouver Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Frost. Coverage gets underway at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
Well, get ready for a magical journey. Disney on Ice Road Trip Adventures is coming to the CTC. Experience Aladdin's princely parade and discover a whole new world. It's an unforgettable show for the entire family, and we want you there to experience the magic of Disney. We are giving away a family 4-pack to opening night, which is on February 12th at 7 p.m. And if you want a chance to win those tickets, head over to ctvottawa.ca, enter right now, and good luck to all. And just ahead, one of the longest-running royalty programs making some changes.
Air Miles really needed a name change more than anything else. It's called Air Miles. It's got an airplane for its logo, but the brand has evolved over the years.
That's right. If you have some Air Miles, you will want to stay tuned for this story. We will have everything that you need to know in just a few minutes. Let's head outside to our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and Melissa giving us hope that warmth is on the way, but still have to get through some colder days first, but sunshine on the horizon. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is 6:11. We'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Here's some of the top stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Frustration continues on light rail. Users sharing their grievances online after another stopped train. This comes after the transit agency says there was still no timeline to return to full service. Ottawa City Council will meet today to vote on a plan to spend $95 million in taxpayer money towards a new private landfill in the East End. And the Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement. Experts are expecting that the rate will hold steady. Let's take a look at the forecast and what we can expect over the next little while. So, plenty of sunshine through the day today. Temperatures will still be below seasonal, but as we head into the weekend, everything starts to change. Continue to bundle up through the day today, but is it going to be so nice to finally see some sunshine. Let's take a look at the roads at this hour. Nothing major to report, and the roads are in much better condition today than they were yesterday. Snow squalls, definitely debris flying around. City crews have been working hard to get the highways looking very good. So your Wednesday morning commute, good so far. Air Miles is one of Canada's most popular and longest-running loyalty programs, and now it's getting a new name, Blue Rewards. So what does that mean for you if you're already an Air Miles member? CTV's Pat Foran explains.
Air Miles has been in operation for more than 30 years, and this summer the familiar Air Miles logo with an airplane will be replaced with a new look and new name, Blue Rewards. BMO owns the loyalty program and says no action for clients is needed at this time, and any miles you have will hold their value.
If you got $100 worth of something you're saving up for a gift card, a vacuum, or travel, you'll have $100 worth when we launch Blue Rewards in the summer.
BMO says it's adding new partners and new ways to earn, including the ability to earn points on groceries and food deliveries. Air Miles is a well-known brand, but loyalty card experts say it was time for an update.
Air Miles really needed a name change more than anything else. It's called Air Miles. It's got an airplane for its logo, but the brand has evolved over the years, especially since BMO purchased them. They're more of a general rewards program.
BMO is also hoping more Canadians will make the switch to its bank to take advantage of additional perks connected with the program. Rewards Canada, which studies loyalty programs, says more Canadians are no longer saving years for dream vacations with points, but instead are cashing them in more often for low-value rewards.
These shopping rewards or these everyday rewards, kind of like Blue Rewards, where you can get value just for a little bit amount of points. You don't have to spend years collecting points. You can maybe, after a month, you might have enough points to get $20 off something.
Rewards Canada recently announced its top 5 rewards cards. Number 1, American Express, followed by Aeroplan, Scene, Avion Rewards, and Air Miles, now Blue Rewards. Loyalty programs want your business. Barry Choi says make sure you pick one that best suits your spending.
Is the card that you have in your wallet right now making sense for you as far as a loyalty perspective is concerned? If not, it might be worth switching where you can earn more points that you can actually use for whether it be merchandise, groceries, or travel.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
OC Transpo staff have laid out an extensive plan to rectify the newly discovered spalling issue on O Train Line 1 that has caused dozens of train cars to be pulled from service, but it remains unclear when riders can expect a return to regular operations. And this comes after a chaotic commute on Line 1 yesterday after a train stopped in the middle of rush hour. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts. And Bill, I'm just going to let you go on this one.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about it at all. And then I heard you in your newscast talk about this update from OC Transpo, which is not an update at all. Here's the new timeline. Yeah, we don't have a timeline. You don't have a timeline? You can't even guess. Will it impact on the new Eastern Extension? Well, we're not sure yet. Let me help you with those things, okay? How long does it take to fix one axle? How many axles are on the train? Multiply one number by the other. That's about how long it's going to take to fix one train. Multiply that number by how many trains you have. And then because your government add, I don't know, multiple of 2, just double it, and then give us that number. I think they have a pretty damn good idea of how long it's going to take. And they don't want to say it out loud because it's just too far down the road. And then as for the Eastern Extension, will it impact on it? Well, yes. I mean, the trains are going to be on the tracks longer. We know that time on the tracks equals these mechanical problems they're dealing with. Plus, you're going to put more people on them, and we don't have more cars. So, of course, it's going to impact on it. Absolutely infuriating, that they just either they don't know. I don't know which is worse. They don't know, or they know and they don't want to tell us. Those are both very bad scenarios. I am sure happy I'm not standing out in minus 28 waiting for a bus or a train this morning in this city. If you're heading out to do that, you have my sympathy.
Yeah, Bill, and I don't know if you saw some of the video and some of the photos from yesterday, but people actually had to wait in the staircases during the minus 20, 25 degree weather because there was no room at the stalls because they were so crowded. And
Crazy.
A reminder, too.
Have you seen some of the stations on the new Eastern Extension, by the way? The escalators?
Yeah, it's bad.
Massively high, out in the wind, out in the open, no glass even to protect them. That's, and it hasn't even opened yet, and you can already see it's going to be a problem. Boy, we've just done such a terrible job on this system. Just awful.
And Bill, they're paying more for their pass this year.
Yeah, and I know somebody's suggesting maybe refunds. I would want one too, I suppose. But I think the best long-term solution is to find another way to get to where you have to go, because for the foreseeable future, and it's going to be a long while, OC Transpo is not the way.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And bundle up if you're going to be taking any sort of OC Transpo transit over the next few days with the temperatures. But always appreciate your time, Bill.
And Will, thanks for ruining my day with that update. Appreciated that.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. Will and Bill always rising to the positive side to enjoy your mornings.
Yeah.
Remember, you can listen to the Morning Rush of Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRE, weekdays from 6 till 10 a.m. Taking a peek outside through our Skycam on George Street, and temperatures still feeling a little bit cold. Some snow to fall before, the return of sunshine. We'll turn things around on a more positive note. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we're asking for your comments on winter pet peeves. What are your biggest pet peeves this time of the year? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. So, Will, we're going to start with you. Do you have one?
Yeah, this is fun, right? Because, you know that you're either airing this out on the road to your family members or friends. So now we want you to air it out to us in an email, and then we'll share with all of our viewers. I think I'm going to go with just not clearing the cars off in the snowfall before heading on the roads. And it's a matter of safety for everyone. And I think about, like myself on the roads, I think about like my parents on the roads, my mom driving, and you see people that are driving where you can't even see on the left side, the right side, or on the roof of the car, and the snow's coming back. I know it's really cold over the last couple of weeks, and sometimes the last thing you want to do is go out there and spend 10 minutes clearing your car, but it just puts everyone and yourself in danger. And when you're walking by and you pull up to someone at light and you can just see all the snowfall in their car, they can't even see you through their window. It just drives me a little insane. So just take the extra time, clear off the car before you go on the road, and then you and everyone else is going to be safer. And you've even dealt with things where you've been in front and it's impacting you where you had to stop and pull over.
I've been behind a car before and they didn't clean the roof off. It was like an SUV and there was like this thick layer of snow and ice.
Yeah.
And it was flying by and it was smoking my windshield, and it was terrifying because it's ice and it was big chunks of snow, hard snow. And I was driving and eventually I had to just pull over in the other lane and let him go far ahead of me because it was terrifying. So, and you can be fined if you don't clear off your car properly. So just keep that in mind as well.
And that's not even your original pet peeve. We've got another one we're working on.
Okay. So you know the little piece of driveway that you share between your neighbor and you, and there's like just a little piece, and you know this time of the year snowbanks get quite large. So the issue is the little piece that's left is grass. There's only a little piece of grass left because our neighbors on the one side of us did landscaping, so we just have grass. And we try not to put the snow on that little piece because it's literally so narrow, and then it just comes onto our driveway anyway. So we just try to keep it on the other side where we have a larger yard.
Yeah.
But our neighbors seem to like to shovel their snow and put it on our property, and we're trying to like with that, we own that piece. That's ours. Yours is landscaped, ours is not. So the grass is technically our grass. And so we've had to ask politely several times, being like, can you just keep your snow on the other side? It's awkward, but that's a little pet peeve I have.
Yeah, well, it's
hard.
It's a big deal, right? It's like the same thing when people are plowing their driveways and they put it out into the middle of the road.
Yes.
You can't do that. So you gotta do that properly. So just winter etiquette.
Oh, winter etiquette. We could go on and on and on, but I want to hear what other people have to say as well.
Yeah, so we'll be hearing from you in the show. We are asking, what is your winter pet peeve? You want to share it with us. It's the most fun thing to do. Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we check in with Ottawa by law about what you need to know about managing winter. This includes the rules around shoveling, parking, and so much more. That's coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll be right back. Good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. I am Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today, but we're going to start with public transit because it continues to be a concern. OC Transpo outlines a plan to fix new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders are complaining after there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute. And while the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video you're seeing here, saying that the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period, and that everyone aboard was held on it for a full hour before they were allowed to evacuate and walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. These images you see here were captured at Lion Station, where there was such little room on the platform that people actually had to start waiting on the stairs. Some riders suggest there was little information provided, causing frustration. This comes as OC Transpo provides more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
Right now, there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and a large closure between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly, no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. Police say she was not badly injured.
We are learning more just about how much it's going to cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417. The Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement, the first of 2026. Economists expect the Bank of Canada to leave the benchmark rate unchanged. The rate announcement comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future with a scheduled review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement coming up later this year.
A shocking moment at a town hall on the immigration crackdown in the U.S. A man lunged at Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Eileen Omar and sprayed her with an unidentified liquid before being tackled to the ground. Omar was not injured, and authorities have not said what substance was sprayed. New stats from Ottawa Police shows a drop in local shootings. According to the service, there were 38 shootings in Ottawa last year. That's down from 52 shootings in 2024. Ottawa's police chief is crediting a proactive approach for the decline. However, overall reported crimes in the city were up.
Shoplifting is a growing issue for many Ottawa businesses, and that's why Ottawa Police partnered with Masseen's Your Independent Grocer in Centertown to crack down on theft and catch people in the act. Through Project Pantry, Ottawa Police arrested 12 people for shoplifting, laying a combined 78 charges. Of the 12 people arrested, police believe some have ties to organized crime.
People are running away, going to a car right away, and giving that that product to whoever's in the car in exchange for something, and whether that's money or whether that's drugs. We've seen that. So there's elements of organized crime certainly in these things, as well as people that are hungry or don't have the funds to perhaps buy the food, so they go and take it.
Chief Eric Stubbs calls this type of operation proactive policing, something Ottawa Police are looking to do more of across the city.
American footballer Devontae Dedmon has been released by the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Devontae Dedmon returns from his own 10-yard line.
Dedmon, who was with the team since 2019, was slated to become a CFL free agent next month. While in a Red Blacks uniform, he notched thousands of return yards, including 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns and 3 punt returns for TDs.
Dedmon posted on social media yesterday saying, "Thanks to the city for accepting me with open arms. It's all love."
Oh, well, we wish him the best. I know you have a personal connection as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great guy, wonderful person. And I mean, he's going to go on to another team and be super successful wherever he goes. I think the Red Blacks are just really looking in that rebuild phase. Mm-hmm. So I don't think, a lot of people were shocked because he's been here for so long, but he'll have a very successful career wherever he goes. He's such a good person that we will definitely miss him here in the city.
Yeah, it's always great to have such a loyal player that was heavily involved in the community as well. Like, he'd come here and he'd be with us doing some fun stuff, so we definitely wish him the best.
And you know what? He deals with the winter months as well. Like, he stays in Ottawa year-round and deals with the snow and the ice and the cold conditions just because he loves the city so much.
He doesn't leave us during these dark and cold times.
Exactly. He doesn't hitch a ride down south. He stays where it's nice and cold. But you know what? Ottawa is beautiful in the wintertime if you can embrace it and get outside. And the weekend is looking much better. Even today, we do have a gorgeous day ahead. It will be sunny and cold to start things off, but then more of that sunshine in through your afternoon. Tonight is when it will be quite cold, and we could see some more flurries in through your overnight. Temperatures still sitting at -20. Feels closer to -28 this hour, so it is a very cold start to your morning. There is a risk of frostbite to start things off. Cold across the region as well. Temperatures really chilly this hour. Right now, we're seeing some sunshine. Well, we will see some sunshine when it wakes up. It's clear skies, but of course, the sun isn't out until just before 7:30. Once the sun is up, then we will get to see some sunshine this morning. In through your afternoon, it's tonight that we can see some flurries. So around 9-10 o'clock is when we could start to see a few flurries in the forecast, which will kind of linger overnight and into early morning hours tomorrow. Not a lot of accumulation like we saw yesterday, where we were expecting around 4 centimeters. Tonight into tomorrow, just a few flurries, but nothing that will make roads too slippery. Fingers crossed. -10 is your daytime high into your afternoon, so still a little bit below seasonal, but at least it's going to be nice and sunny. Similar temperatures across the region, slightly warmer for Trenton, Kingston, sitting at -8 into your afternoon, -10 in the valley, as well as in Kittigan, Zibi for today. It's the 7-day forecast that looking much improved, especially as we head in towards the weekend. -16 is the low for tonight. Still some scatter flurries Thursday and through Friday, and cold conditions right through until the weekend, but then sunny as we head into Saturday and right through into next week as February arrives. We will see warmer conditions as we head into Sunday and Monday. Daytime highs into still cold, but a little bit more normal, and it'll still be in the single digits.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
On your roads this morning, we are collision-free. Eastbound on the 417, seeing buildup beginning at the 416 slitted through Maitland. Westbound, we're seeing slowdowns 10th line in through Montreal Road.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Well, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, the Bank of Canada is set to make its latest interest rate announcement today. CTV's Scott Hurst tells us what we can expect through the day, coming up later on in our program. Taking a peek outside through our sky cam, and woo, some sunshine expected today. Oh, that is going to feel so nice. It is 6:39, cruising up to 6:40. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Here's some of the top stories we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. It was another rough commute for OC Transpo users. A mechanical issue led to a stopped train and packed platforms. This comes as the transit agency says that there is still no timeline to return to full service. Ottawa City Council will meet today to vote on a plan to spend $95 million in taxpayer money towards a new private landfill in the East End. And the Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement. Experts are expecting the rate to hold steady. Melissa, what do you got for us on the weather front today?
A nice day ahead. We will get to see some sunshine. Temperatures still cold, especially this morning. It's feeling closer to -28, but into the afternoon, -10 is the high for today. We will see lots of sunshine in through your day ahead as we head into Thursday and Friday. Chance of those flurries that we could see to end off the work week, and temperatures still cold towards Friday. On your roads this hour, here's a live look at your time saver traffic, and we aren't seeing any major issues. Again, volume just building slightly. Richmond and through Maitland this hour. If you're heading eastbound on the 417, we're seeing some slowdowns into the downtown core.
The Bank of Canada is set to release their interest rate decision today. This latest rate announcement also comes as the threat of U.S. tariffs was once again renewed by Donald Trump over the weekend. With more on this story, we bring in CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst with us. Good morning to you, Scott.
Good morning, Will.
What are some of the economists expecting to hear with today's rate announcement?
Well, this is the first interest rate announcement from the Bank of Canada for 2026, and it can often be very technical at times, but it does have a very real-world impact on so many of us and the money that we bring in and the money we have to spend. The last policy announcement came in December where the bank held its rate steady at 2.25%, and economists are widely expecting the same, likely no change again at 2.25%. Of course, prior to December, there were 2 consecutive quarter-point cuts in the second half of 2025. No change would keep borrowing costs the same for everyday Canadians like you and me and businesses. We do know inflation did close out the year with a surprise uptick. The consumer price index rose to 2.4% in December. But we have heard from the Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem saying bank officials believe inflation is likely to hold around its 2% target for the coming year. But if the outlook changes, the central bank is ready to respond. But in terms of today's policy announcement, it is widely expected to hold the same at 2.25%, Will.
Yeah, and Scott, obviously with everything going on over the last couple of weeks, this latest decision comes just days after Donald Trump's latest threats on tariffs right here in Canada and ahead of CUSMA renegotiations expected a little bit later this year. Could trade relations with the U.S. play a factor in the decision that we see from the central bank?
Affordability, we've seen it, is top of mind for us. We see it when we have to buy anything or go to the grocery store, and it is too for the government. We saw the Carney Liberals out with a affordability announcement as it pertains to groceries earlier this week. And yes, Donald Trump has reverted back to taking aim at Canada, threatening more tariffs, threatening to pull out of the North American Free Trade Pact, CUSMA, as renegotiations get underway. We have seen the harm that tariffs have already done to some Canadian industries, and just the threat of tariffs from the Trump administration do cause a whole lot of uncertainty in the economy, and that is never good for investors. But the bank has indicated Canada's economy has largely stayed resilient despite U.S. tariffs. So from the central bank's perspective, it is closely watching all of these developments from south of the border, from the Trump administration, to see how they might continue to harm or hinder the Canadian economy, and will weigh on future interest rate decisions. But so will jobs numbers, consumer spending, business investment, and other economic markers. So all of that does go into what the decision will be from the Bank of Canada, including continue to watch the impact from tariffs from the U.S. administration. So the next interest rate announcement, Will, is coming 7 weeks from now on March 18th.
Yeah, so many factors going into that decision. Always really appreciate your guidance on these issues, Scott. Have a great day.
Thanks, Will. You too.
So this morning on your comments, we are asking for your winter pet peeves. What drives you bonkers in winter months? We want to know, and we got some good ones to share.
We certainly do. So what drives Brandy bonkers? My pet peeve is drivers not respecting pedestrians or other vehicles. Ooh, yes. A good one, pedestrians. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I find especially at roundabouts, people don't realize that if there's a person looking to cross, you're supposed to yield to the pedestrian, and a lot of drivers don't stop. Pascal says not turning on their lights on their car during the day. Daytime lights are not enough. Stay visible, people.
That's a good one, too, because I do know even like we have early mornings, and sometimes you do see even in the early mornings, there's no lights on the car, and that can dramatically make a difference on the visibility. Phyllis says, I'm with Will on this one. People who don't clean off their cars and drive like nothing is wrong. It's dangerous and very scary. That's the other part too, right? It's like, oh, like what I'm doing isn't wrong, but it actually can have a dramatic impact.
Absolutely, and it's very, very scary, especially if you're behind. Karen says plowing snow across or onto the road. Yes, we mentioned that as well. People who just shovel their driveways and put it onto the road. It's not supposed to go there.
Yeah, you can't do that. We'll be speaking with Bylaw coming up a little bit later in the show, too, providing what you can and cannot do. We should ask them about their pet peeves.
Yes.
Sylvia says, my biggest pet peeve are people who drive fast on the roads or don't leave enough space between vehicles, especially when it snows.
I'm with you, Sylvia, on this. I find people drive way too fast come the winter months. It's wild. Susan says walking on the sidewalk and two people are coming towards you and you have to wait for them to go by, or better yet, walk through the snow because they can't share the sidewalk. It's true. I've heard this, too.
Yes, I heard this one in our newsroom yesterday at someone that really doesn't like this. We're not going to out them, though, but just know that, Susan, that is felt right here at our 87 Church Street studios as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll be hearing from you a little bit later in the show. We're asking, what is your winter pet peeve? Send us those comments, Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, how Canadian icon Neil Young is protesting the U.S. government's wishes to take over Greenland. We'll tell you more just ahead. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. We're waiting for that sun to be up sometime around 7:30 and sunshine into your afternoon. Time now for your morning fix, and there's a new best-selling country song of all time.
You're right smooth. It's Tennessee whiskey. You're right sweet. Strawberry wine.
So good. Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey became the highest-selling country song of all time this month, becoming the first country song to reach double diamond status by the Recording Industry Association of America. Stapleton's upcoming tour has completely sold out, including 2 stops at Toronto's Rogers Stadium August 6th and then again on September 1st this summer. such a good song.
And he's so good live.
Oh.
You can hear just even in that small clip, right? Like just the raw, natural talent of his voice. And just no reason to be surprised why all of his concerts.
And I
sell
think
out.
because he fits different genres as well. Like, it's not just country fans that love him. It's like you could like him if you like pop or rock as well. He kind of like fits all the bills. So.
Yeah, he like fades into some of the other genres a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, the 55th Annual Juno Awards will be held in Hamilton next month, and nominees were announced yesterday morning, and we have some local nods. Ottawa's Jamie Fine has been nominated for her song with fellow Canadian pop star Sean Desmond. Arcade Fire is also on the list for Group of the Year. Two of the original band members graduated from Ottawa's Canterbury High School. The full list of nominees is on the Juno's website.
Always love to see that when some
local
talent is on there at the Junos. We always love seeing that. And Jamie recently, at the Mayor's Ball as well, the Mayor's Gala as well, with a lot of our crew. So she's so involved.
She's so talented too. She's incredible. Like, such a voice and musicality that, it's incredible to see.
Always been so good.
Yeah. And Canadian music legend Neil Young is giving the gift of his music to the people of Greenland.
I wanna live, I wanna give. I've been a miner for a heart of gold.
The singer-songwriter is offering a free year of access to his online musical archive, all 62 years of it, to anyone in Greenland. Young says he hopes it will ease some of what he calls the unwarranted stress and threats after Donald Trump declared he wanted to take over the territory.
62 years of catalog.
That's a lot of music. And just such iconic music. A nice little gift of him to give to Greenland, for sure.
Yeah, that's great, right? Just a nice little free music. And we know that music can completely change your mood, your day. A couple of tracks.
Absolutely.
So love that.
It's incredible.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a peek outside. There's our Centennial Glass Sky Cam just to see what's going on this Wednesday morning. We have a floor camera operator with his arms crossed. Oh, he's backing up. Mike Mercer, where are you going? He doesn't like the Centennial Glass Sky Cam. You can't see, but he has left the building. Stay with us. We'll still be here. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, January 28th. A chaotic commute yesterday as LRT train stops in the middle of rush hour, and some city councilors want the city to make it up to riders as issues on Line 1 continue.
The roads weren't much better yesterday, with OPP officers responding to several collisions on the 401 between Kingston and Toronto during sudden snow squalls.
And this week's Your Neighborhood takes us to Vanier with some delicious food and particularly some meat. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. I'm Willie Yellow.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Rosie is away for today.
She's off, and we're going to get to our top story, which I think has a lot of people frustrated here in our city. OC Transpo outlines a plan to fix new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders are complaining that there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute, and while the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video that you see here, saying that the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period, and that everyone aboard was held on it for at least a full hour before they were allowed to evacuate and then walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. These images you see here were captured at Lion Station. There was such little room on the platforms that people actually had to start waiting on the stairs. Some riders suggest that there was little information provided, and this comes as OC Transpo provides more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop, a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
Right now, there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and large closures between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly, no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. Police say she was not badly injured.
Well, we are learning how much it will cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say that the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417.
Canada's Prime Minister standing firm amid a suggestion from the Trump administration that he is softening his tone since his speech in Davos.
To be absolutely clear, and I said this to the president, I meant what I said in Davos. It was clear it was a broader set of issues, that Canada was the first country to understand the change in U.S. trade policy that he had initiated, and we're responding to that.
Carney says he stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China. But 12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary says he was on that call that characterized a conversation differently.
Spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Carney says he reiterated in his conversation with Trump that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Canada's premiers start 2 days of meetings today in Ottawa. Their winter meetings come ahead of the CUSMA's review this year. The economy, affordability, and trade are expected to be high on the agenda. Prime Minister Mark Carney will host a working dinner with the premiers tonight before their meeting tomorrow.
Hospital food has never been anything to write home about, but the Ottawa Hospital is hoping to change that. The hospital teamed up with restaurateur Stephen Bechta to create the menu focused on calories, protein, and fiber. It includes a Spanish omelet, roasted potatoes and tomato salsa, buttered chicken with mushroom lentil soup, and root vegetable chips. The trial menu was piloted last year for some units at the General, and it has some positive reviews.
What we want to do is have that reset, make sure that our menu is both healthy, nutritious, and delicious, have meals that patients want to eat and will ideally lead to positive patient recovery.
The hospital serves around 3,000 meals each day. The pilot project took place on 4 units at the General campus, but there's no timeline on the full rollout.
2 artifacts found in Greece are believed to be 430,000 years old.
Yeah, the tools are believed to be the oldest wooden tools ever to be uncovered. One is a stick about 80 centimeters long that researchers say could have been used for digging in the mud.
The other is a smaller, more mysterious handled chunk of wood that may have been used to shape stone tools. Experts say they offer a rare look into the variety of tools humans used to survive.
We talk about this when they uncover some of the ancient artifacts,
right?
And how people go through the process about how do you even know what this was used for? Like, what is the process when you find something like that to find how was this used and what is it?
And how do you know it just wasn't a stick? Right? Like,
yeah.
How do you know it was a stick used as a tool? Like, to me, I would have decided, like, oh, it's just a stick.
Yep.
But they're like, no, this is an ancient artifact. It's pretty incredible what paleontologists can uncover.
Remember when you were like on the beach and then you would go by and you'd find these seashells and you're like, there's got to be like a rare one in here, but you like have no idea what you're looking for.
Oh yeah, and then you find a shark tooth. You're like, is this a shark tooth?
Is it real?
And we just want to remind you to send your weather pictures in to us. We would love to see them. All you have to do is email them in to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca.
Weather Picture, brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating? just bucks me up.
And today is actually a beautiful day ahead. We'll see some sunshine in through your afternoon. And of course, -10 is where temperatures will sit a little bit below where we should be sitting for this time of the year. Average is around -6 degrees. The sun should be up very shortly, 7:27. So it's up before 7:30 and setting after 5 o'clock. 5:03 is when the sun will go down. So we do have a beautiful long day and so much sunshine on the way for us as well on this Wednesday. Still cold this hour. We are sitting at -20 with that wind chill. Feels closer to -28 this morning. So cold temperatures to start off your Wednesday, -18 in Kingston, -16 in Trenton this hour. So very chilly across the region. The good news is it will be sunny. So we will see clear skies this morning as we head into the late morning. And once that sun is up, we will see sunshine right through into the late part of your afternoon. So beautiful sunny day. We could see some flurries later on this evening. It looks like around 9 o'clock tonight is when we could see a few flurries in the forecast. It will kind of linger overnight and early tomorrow morning. But overall, a beautiful day ahead, even though it will stay a little bit cold into your afternoon. -10 is where temperatures will hover today. We'll feel closer to -15. Similar throughout the region as well. Everybody getting to see a little bit of sunshine today. -10 for Kemptville, -11 in Bancroft, Pembroke. They could actually see a few snowflakes throughout the morning hours as well. So could see a few flurries. It will stay clear for us here in Ottawa. -10 is your daytime high in Gatineau. So over the next couple of days, we will start to see a shift in temperatures, especially as we head in through the weekend. Overnight tonight, dropping to -16, so not nearly as cold as it has been. -12 for Thursday, -14 on Friday. So temperatures will stay cold throughout the end of the work week and a little bit snowy as well. Then as we head into the weekend, we will see pure sunshine from Saturday in through next week and temperatures starting to warm up as February arrives. -7 is your daytime high next week in the -single digits.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And on your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. We are collision free, which is great news. No major issues east to west. Eastbound on the 417 seeing build up beginning at the 416 split in through Maitland. Westbound on the 174 slowdowns at 10th line in through Montreal Road. All the bridges from Gatineau are moving well this hour.
Well, as public and political pressure continues to mount on U.S. President Donald Trump, it appears that he has changed his tone on the situation in Minneapolis, changing up oversight of the immigration operation that has resulted in 2 fatal shootings. My guest this morning is Eric Ham. He is CTV News political analyst based in Washington, D.C. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning.
So the first thing I want to talk about is Trump actually spoke to Fox News Tuesday, and he said, quote, "We are going to de-escalate a little bit." Why do you think Trump has struck a different tone in talking about Minnesota?
Well, right now, the president is feeling pressure from all sides. We know that the business community in Minneapolis has spoken out saying that there needs to be a de-escalation. And also, one of Donald Trump's most ardent voting bases, the National Rifle Association, has also come out and actually said that more needs to be done in terms of de-escalating the situation. To say nothing of the fact that polling data shows that right now the president is losing a wide swath of support, particularly as he looks to head into the midterm elections. And so right now what we're seeing here is the heat is coming from all sides, to say nothing, of course, of the fact that there could be a potential partial government shutdown as Democrats in the U.S. Senate are now continuing to make clear that they will not support a funding bill that actually provides additional funding for the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, and you know, Donald Trump has also brought in his border czar, Tom Homan, into Minneapolis. Do you see that changing anything moving forward?
Well, the president is certainly hoping it is, but what this actually does is President Donald Trump felt that Greg Bovino, the ICE director who was actually moved out and is now, we're told, retiring, was more of the eyes and ears for the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem. Tom Homan is more of a Donald Trump person. In fact, President Trump said that Homan is there to actually be his eyes and ears, not those of Kristi Noem. So clearly what we're seeing here is this is also becoming an issue internally for the president, as we see the president is at odds with his own Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, as well as her senior advisor, Corey Lewandowski, who is someone who has been with Donald Trump actually since his first term in office.
And Eric, I have to bring this up because a man attacked Minneapolis Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at a town hall meeting last night. And the video was captured, and it's him spraying an unknown substance at her. What is your reaction when you saw this video?
I think this speaks to just how polarizing this issue is becoming. We're talking about 2 dead individuals in Minneapolis who basically did nothing. One person was literally killed for actually trying to protect another individual who was also being attacked by ICE, and one was killed simply for driving. And so what we're seeing now is just how the tensions in that community are now boiling over. And what we're seeing here is no one is safe, either from ICE or even from the constituents themselves who feel increasingly under threat.
Yeah, and something that we're seeing on social media, it talks about a nationwide strike. Do you actually see that resulting in anything significant? Is there just some chatter, or is this gaining traction across the board?
No, I think you're seeing protests and demonstrations all across the country right now. And at a time when the economy is very precarious right now, the last thing the president wants is to see something like this happen, where you've got millions of Americans all across the country elevating this issue and this problem, which is why I think we're seeing the president attempt to try to deal with this, actually getting above and beyond where even some of his own people had been on this issue, calling for calm, calling for de-escalation. In fact, we know that the president is already now moving some of those ICE agents out of Minnesota as well.
CTV News political analyst Eric Hammond joining us. Thank you so much for your time, because there is so much going on, and appreciate your guidance on an ever-moving situation.
You bet. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, if you find yourself in this situation after a major snowfall, what should you do?
I'm new to living in a condo, but can someone explain to me what I am supposed to do in this situation? Like,
this is a question that many people have. Balcony snowfall. So an Ottawa bylaw officer answers those questions and more just ahead. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge, nice and cozy. But now we're going to go outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and temperatures still feeling below seasonal this morning. But finally, the return of some sunshine. Something to look forward to. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories that we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Frustration continues on light rail. Users sharing their grievances online after another stop train. This comes after the transit agency says there is still no timeline to return to full service. Ottawa City Council will meet today to vote on a plan to spend $95 million up in taxpayer money towards a new private landfill in the East End. And the Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement. Experts are expecting the rate to hold steady. And now for a look at your forecast. We are expecting sunshine on the way for today, so mainly sunny skies this morning into your afternoon. It will be a cold one, though. We will reach a daytime high of -10 late this afternoon, but at least we will get to see that sunshine. Now in through your evening, that's when we're expecting some flurries. It looks like between 9, 10 o'clock, we could start to see a few scattered flurries in the forecast. Cold tonight, but not nearly as cold as it has been over the last few days. -16 is the overnight low. On your roads this hour, traffic is still looking decent. We aren't seeing any major issues, just starting to see some volume build in the usual slowdown spots. You could see the split in through downtown still moving pretty well. It's a little bit heavier past Saint Laurent if you're heading westbound on the 417. It's heavy Richmond and through Pinecrest this hour. Well, as the city cleans up after the latest snowfall, many people have questions on snow removal. So we're asking Jonathan Walden from Bylaw Services some frequently asked questions. Good morning to you, and thanks for coming in studio this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, it's been a busy time for you guys, lots of snow. Let's first talk about parking bans and what people need to know surrounding that.
Sure. So when the city does call a parking ban, we do ask that people take their vehicles off the street. Doing so just helps our city plows, clear the street, makes it easier for emergency vehicles, also makes it easier just for day-to-day commute, right? Everyone kind of knows that one car that hasn't moved during a parking ban, the plow goes around it, now your street's down to one lane or sometimes even impassable. So it's something that we do kind of ask that people pay attention to. So we do have email alerts that people can sign up to. I know media outlets will cover it as well when they're coming up. The city's social media apps also say when there's a parking ban. So we're just asking that people kind of pay attention to when they are in effect and then move their vehicles off the street.
And it seems people are not overly paying attention. 15,000 tickets issued so far on these parking bans. What do people need to know if they get a ticket?
You can always contest it. So obviously every ticket has that option. But again, it's basically we're just asking people to kind of pay attention. I think it does catch people off guard, especially sort of the first one of the year.
Yeah.
If you're new to Ottawa, maybe not sure of the rules. So again, it's just something that we're asking kind of people educate themselves on and pay attention to when it comes into effect.
All right, let's talk snow removal, the do's and the don'ts. What happens if people are moving the snow off their property and onto the street?
So that is a bylaw violation, yes.
Okay.
You're not allowed to do that. Again, it's, you're kind of affecting the whole community when you take the snow off your property, you put it on the street, kind of makes it everyone's problem.
Yeah.
Kind of a good rule is just move the snow adjacently when you're shoveling your driveway. Don't kind of shovel it all into the end and push it out and just make it sort of everybody else's problem.
Mm-hmm.
We do get a fair amount of calls about that, so we're just asking that people, it's tough for everyone. There's a lot of snow. Just kind of don't make your problem with everyone else's. So.
Keep on piling it up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what happens if you have a fire hydrant on your property.
So you are responsible to maintain it.
Okay.
Again, though, it's sort of a community and neighborhood issue, right? So if you're somebody who maybe is unable to clear it, if you're elderly or have sort of medical issues that would make you unable to clear it, maybe seek people out in your community who can give you a hand. We do have a program with Ottawa Fire called Hydrant Heroes, which kind of encourages, like young kids to go and help out, and we'll take pictures and we'll post it on our social medias if they're allowed. So
that's great.
yeah, so it's on ottawa.ca if parents are interested in kind of signing their kids up to be a hydrant hero. It's a great way to kind of, keep the community safe and
get the community involved.
do something good, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about condos and balconies. We have a lot of high rises here in our city, and obviously at this point they're pretty packed with snow on their balconies. What are they supposed to do?
So that's not really a bylaw issue. We would maybe look into it if it was a safety concern where, an icicle was hanging off the end, you could potentially fall and injure somebody.
Okay.
But in terms of just the snow accumulation on a balcony, it wouldn't really be something bylaw would look into. So I'd encourage residents to maybe work with their landlords if that's becoming an issue.
And let's talk about a city property. If someone says that, the snow on a city property looks unsafe or they are seeing icicles on the roof, what should people do in those circumstances?
Yeah, so call 311. Even if it's a private property, we deal with that as well. So if it's, icicles overhanging a sidewalk, potential major safety concern, right? So officers will respond to that very quickly. We'll try to, caution tape it off, make sure that no one's at risk of getting injured, and we'll work with the property owner to make sure that's removed and the property is safe.
And is there anything else as a bylaw officer that you want the city of Ottawa to know in terms of snow or removal or parking bans?
Yeah, it's been a pretty rough winter in terms of snow and cold. So just I know there's a lot of snow. It comes at a premium in terms of real estate on your property. So just in terms of having to work together, I think as people living in Ottawa, we kind of go through this every winter. But just we need to work together to get through the winter, and hopefully spring will come soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We'll find out on Tuesday if the groundhog sees his shadow or not.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us
today. No problem.
today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your neighborhood brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
So many different sauces to choose from. We are here at Du Michel Meat and Deli. I'm with Ian Slipikoff this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
So great to have you here. Of course, we're looking at some of your sauces, but you have so many meats, deli meats, steaks, chickens, you name it. You have it here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your shop.
Well, it's a beautiful local butcher shop. We're expanding, so we're adding all new products quite often. We've got all Canadian meats. We've got Canadian chicken, pork. It's amazing. So we cut everything fresh every day.
I love that.
And we love it here.
It sounds incredible and it looks incredible. We've had so many customers in and out this morning. Tell us how this all happened, because you're almost celebrating your 5-year anniversary. It's coming up.
It's coming up. So end of January was my 5-year anniversary. I work for my family business in wholesale meats. I'm a third-generation butcher.
Wow.
So my grandfather had a butcher shop on the Byward Market back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And then my father and his 2 brothers switched it to wholesale. So then I started working for my father, early 2000s. Worked for him for a long time, but it was time to spread my wings.
Okay.
So I left the wholesale business and I bought Du Michel Meat and Deli. Mr. Du Michel wanted to retire. COVID is not easy, and I took the shot at it. And I loved it.
And how is it going, the transition from being with the family business to creating your own?
It's great. It gives you an opportunity to kind of be your own boss and make your own decisions, live or die by the sword. I mean, it's not always easy, but it's great. I wouldn't change it for the world.
And tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, because you've become quite famous with tons of views.
Well, thank you. I love it. One of the things that when I first started actually buying at the butcher shop, I never cut meat. Okay. So always in my family business was always box in, box out. You know, we bought great quality, we sold great quality, and it was never actually cutting something. Okay. So I took the first 6 months, and when I took over, I learned the front of the store, the customers, what to do. But then the next 6 months, I spent just cutting meat. Okay. So learning all the how to cut, what, where to go, what to do with it. And then I figured there's a lot of people that don't know, and there's a lot that you can learn. So I started a YouTube channel. And what I did is I just cut after cut, learning and trying to get better. And it's called the Silver Fox Butcher.
I love that.
And we're almost at 15,000 subscribers now, and we've had a few million views. So
that's incredible. That's amazing. Do you have a favorite meat that you like to cut?
Yes.
Jackal, what is it?
I do. It's hanger steak.
Hanger steak, why is that?
Hanger steak, there's only one per cow to start with.
Okay.
So it's kind of rare to find. You know, you don't find it in a regular grocery store. It's something that's exclusive typically to, you know, butcher shops. So it's a great cut. It's very tender, but it's not an easy thing to clean. So there's a nerve that runs all the way along the middle, and there's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done on the sides, but if you do it right, it comes out beautiful every time.
And how does it cook and how does it taste?
So it's a very beefy flavor, but it's almost as tender as tenderloin. Okay. So it takes a marinade very well, but you can just easy salt and pepper, put it on a grill for a few minutes, and it comes out extremely delicious.
Oh my goodness, sounds so good. Now you're making me hungry for a steak for lunch.
Well,
tell us about some of the products that you have here today, because I noticed you have like a wide range, so many different steaks, sausage, chicken, pork, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so we do. We try to have everything, you know, that you'd want. We try to have some things that they don't actually have at a grocery store. Okay. So we've got, you know, right now I've got Argentinian skirt steak. You know, it's grass-fed and grass-finished. We've got different marinated chicken breasts. You know, we make our own specialty called the chicken cordon bleu, which is actually ham and cheese wrapped in chicken, wrapped in bacon with seasoning over top. It's so incredible.
Now you're making me very hungry. You also have like a wide range of deli meats as well, and sandwiches if people just want to come up and pick something up on the go.
Yeah, so we make fresh sandwiches every day. We get the bread from a local bakery called Maison Odo, and they've got amazing products. We do make them every single day. We get the bread fresh almost every day. And it's a great way to come in, grab something quick and inexpensive for lunch. We've got drinks to go with it, and it's great.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little tour here today. I know we have lots of customers to get through, so we'll let you get back to work.
Thanks for coming.
But how can people find you?
People can find us on the web at domichelmeat.ca, or they can look us up on Facebook and Instagram at domichelmeat.
And I did buy some steaks, and we had it for dinner, and it was delicious. And I love that he has this YouTube channel helping people out, because like he mentioned, you know, not everybody knows how to cut a steak properly or how to brine it or how to cook it. So he has like so many great tips on his Instagram page, and it's the Silver Fox Butcher.
I love that. Yeah, and Ian came on our show a couple of months ago during the summer about, you know, how to prioritize and make like a full chicken last throughout so many meals. And in a world where, you know, the meat prices just continue to climb, he was providing such great tips on how to make it last longer. He's such a great entrepreneur. I love his story. And yeah, he has got some good quality food.
And so many different rubs and brines and sauces. Like I could have spent hours there just buying so many things. It was great.
It's so nice, and especially those rubs and stuff, they completely change the meal.
Absolutely. And if you know of a great local business we should highlight, send us an email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
Your neighborhood brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here this hour. I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm Will Aiello. Rosie is off today. We have a question towards our viewers about what is your winter pet peeve.
Ooh, yes.
And a lot of people are chiming in, and I feel like maybe our top story today will be people's winter pet peeve given the situation.
Trying to get around the city?
Yeah, especially during this time with the cold weather. So we're talking about OC Transpo, as it has outlined a plan to fix the new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders are complaining after there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute. And while the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video you see here, saying that the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period and that everyone aboard was held on it for a full hour before they were allowed to evacuate and walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. These images you see were captured at Lion Station. There was such little room on the platforms storms, and people had to start waiting on the stairs. Some riders suggest there was little information provided, continuing that frustration. This comes as OC Transpo provides more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop, a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
Right now, there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and a large closure between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly, no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. Police say she was not badly injured.
We are learning how much it's going to cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt, covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417.
Many people in southern Ontario felt the earth shake last night. According to Environment Canada, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake struck at 11:59 Eastern Time near Orillia and Barrie. Earthquakes Canada says there are no reports of damage and none would be expected. The quake was recorded southeast of Orillia, about 100 kilometers north of Toronto. People across the GTA and as far as St. Catharines said they felt the shaking. This map shows where it was felt across southern Ontario.
The Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement. It'll be the first of 2026. Economists expect the Bank of Canada to leave the benchmark rate unchanged. The rate announcement comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future with the scheduled review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement that's coming up later this year.
A shocking moment at a town hall on the immigration crackdown in the U.S. A man lunged at Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and sprayed her with an unidentified liquid before being tackled to the ground. Omar was not injured, and authorities have not said what substance was sprayed. New stats from Ottawa Police shows a drop in local shootings. According to the service, there were 38 shootings in Ottawa last year. That's down from 52 shootings in 2024. Ottawa's police chief is crediting a proactive approach for the decline. However, overall reported crimes in the city were up.
Shoplifting is a growing issue for many Ottawa businesses, and that's why Ottawa Police partnered with Massing's Your Independent Grocer in Centertown to crack down on theft and catch people in the act. Through Project Pantry, Ottawa Police arrested 12 people for shoplifting, laying a combined 78 charges. Of the 12 people arrested, police believe that some have ties to organized crime.
People are running away, going to a car right away, and giving that that product to whoever's in the car in exchange for something, and whether that's money or whether that's drugs. We've seen that. So there's elements of organized crime certainly in these things, as well as people that are hungry or don't have the funds to perhaps buy the food, so they go and take it.
Chief Eric Stubbs calls this type of operation proactive policing, something Ottawa Police are looking to do more of across the city.
You may like playing in the snow, but do you like it this much?
Maybe back in the day. Maybe not so much now. The Memphis Zoo sharing footage of a polar bear taking it all in during last weekend's massive snowstorm. As tens of millions of people in Canada and down south dug out, he dug in.
I love it. That's your cute animal fix of the day.
And a polar bear in its natural territory enjoying the snowfall. I just need a little Coca-Cola beside the bottle.
That's
We've got ourselves the perfect picture.
And he's saying, bring it on. Bring on the snow. Bring on the cold. I love winter. It's my favorite time of the year.
And we're saying maybe back off a little bit.
And I am saying, is the groundhog going to see his shadow on Monday or Tuesday?
Wyerton Willie, what do
Monday?
you got for us?
Right? Is it going to be an early spring, or do we have several more weeks of winter? Fingers crossed an early spring, because it's been a long winter already. We've seen cold conditions and a lot of snow. Sunny and cold today, more sunshine into the afternoon, but we could still see some flurries tonight and over the next few days. We are sitting at -20 this hour. Still feels closer to -28. You can see the sun is out, and it's also a little bit windy out there this morning. So still cold, but at least we're seeing some sunshine, and sunshine across the region to start off your morning. It's always nice to see the bright sun to start off your Wednesday. It will still be cold and through the afternoon, but at least we will see clear skies today. That sun will be shining until later on this evening, and then into our overnight tonight. Late this evening that's when we could see some flurries in the forecast. So a few flurries later on today into your overnight and early tomorrow morning. We could see it lingering kind of Thursday and through Friday, so a couple more snowy days in the forecast for us, but more sunshine on the way, especially as we head into the weekend, and it will be nice and mild Sunday and through next week as well. So February is arriving, not as cold as it has been for January. Temperatures this morning sitting in the teens. We will sit at -16, -14, but still seeing that sunshine for your early morning recess hours. Later on this afternoon, more sunshine on the way. Temperatures reaching that daytime high today of -10. We'll still feel closer to -15 into your afternoon. Similar across the region, sunshine for us here in the city. -10 is your high. Same within Cornwall, Kemptville, Brockville. A bit cloudier, could see some flurries sitting at -10. -8 for Trenton, as well as in Kingston. Throughout your day ahead, -11 is the daytime high over in Kitigan, Zibi. So over the next 5 days, we'll start to see a shift in temperatures towards the weekend. That's when it will get slightly warmer and really, really sunny as well. -10 today. Enjoy the sunshine. Get outside. -16 is the low for tonight. So not as cold tonight as it has been over the last few days. Cold for Thursday and through Friday, though. Temperatures -12, -14 for your highs. We're expecting some flurries. And then as we head in through the weekend, yes, sunny for Saturday, Sunday, warming up Sunday and in through next week. On your roads this hour, we do have some traffic disruptions northbound on Prince Wales at Hunt Club Road. There's a disabled vehicle. Traffic lights are also not working at Eagleson and Hazeldean Road, so we expect delays there. Eastbound on the 417, same buildup. Beginning at the 416 split and through Maitland, heading west on the Queensway, also volume. The 174 in through Parkdale. Westbound on the 174, heavy from 10th line, which bleeds into the 417.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Well, 'tis the season where we see a rise in cases of the common cold, and for that reason, we are paging Dr. Paul to get his advice on how we can protect ourselves as well as our kids. Good morning to you, Dr.
Good morning.
Paul.
Good morning, Will.
It seems like everyone's gotten sick over the last few months, and I think it's important that we describe first what causes the common cold.
Sure. There's 100 viruses that can cause this, okay? When I talk about the common cold, I'm not talking about the flu. Different, right? The flu is much more dangerous. So this is a common sniffles, runny nose, bit of a fever, a couple of days goes away. That's what usually happens. So there's a multitude of viruses that cause it, and so that's why there's no cure. And the other thing too is that because they're viruses, antibiotics don't work. So that's why I like to talk about it, because parents have a lot of misconceptions and questions about it.
Right, so it's just like at this point, when you get the common cold, you just got to battle through it.
Exactly.
So no one likes being sick, even regardless of whether it's that cold or not. So how would we prevent our kids specifically in maybe obtaining that cold?
Well, you know what? It's the same old thing that we talked about with COVID and everything else, because these are respiratory. So they cough and sneeze into your sleeve, those type of things. Stay home when you're sick, etc. And also, when you're coughing and sneezing, sometimes it can go onto a desk, onto a keyboard, and so other people can come in, touch it, and then infect themselves, because this is respiratory. You breathe it in, right?
Right.
And so washing your hands frequently is a very important thing, and also disinfecting common surfaces. So the usual stuff that we talk about, preventing flu, COVID, and so on, because they're all respiratory. They're in the air and they spread that way.
So when in doubt, if you see some sanitizer or an opportunity to wash your hands, especially this time of year, just go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Go for it. Go for it.
So now we've obtained the cold. We did not follow your prevention protocols.
Exactly.
Now we've got the cold. What are some options that we can do do from this point?
Well, the first thing is, I try to stay away from medications, and we'll talk a bit about that later. But for the most part, it's trying to keep a child comfortable, especially if it's a child, right? You want to make sure that despite the fact that they have a congested nose and coughing and sneezing, they can drink, they can feed themselves. Okay, that's the one thing. So plenty of fluids. If they're not feeding, that's fine, as long as they're drinking well. Very often they get nasal congestion, and particularly younger babies, you can actually help them with a little saline pump, put a bit of salt water in the nose just to clear it out. And those are the type of things. And also I like humidity. Cold humidity, cold mist humidity, not warm humidity. Cold mist humidity actually helps them, breathe better and sort of humidifies the airway so they can have a better time sleeping. Because the main thing that it gets in the way of really a child behaving normally. So, and the two things that you want to make sure is that are they sleeping well and they're feeding well.
It is amazing what a good night's rest can accomplish, especially when the system's feeling down. That sleep can help you recover better, right?
Exactly.
Okay, final one we have today is over-the-counter medications.
Yeah, and the reason I want to talk about this is because, we've changed our thinking about these things. So a lot of you go to the pharmacy and there's like rows and rows of over-the-counter medications, cough syrups, decongestants, those type of things. So the first thing I want to say is that those medications are not really supposed to be given to children less than 6 years of age. That's really the most important thing. Okay. We used to give it to younger kids, but there was a lot of side effects. So for younger children less than 6 years of age, it's really the treatments that we talked about, symptomatic treatment and so on. And so we have three types of these things. So there's decongestant, D. So very often you see on the bottle, it says D, DM, and E. So D is a decongestant to decongest the nose. DM is dextromethorphan, is for a cough. And E is expectorant. Now, some of them have three, some of them, I don't like to use them a lot, except if in an older child or a person, if they have coughing at night, for example, and it really keeps them up, maybe something that just has DM in it. The other thing, too, is when they have fever, these medications, like the decongestants and so on, do not address the fever. So if a child has fever and is otherwise well, you can give them something like acetaminophen, Tylenol, ibuprofen, those type of things. But those do not treat the cold. They all treat the fever. But you know what? The good news, Will, is that for the most part, most of these go away in a couple of days. And if they persist longer, obviously, and have other symptoms, child not able to feed themselves, that's when people should seek medical attention.
Love that. Well, again, especially this time of year, getting a little bit colder, the common cold definitely spread amongst many of the kids, providing some knowledge and some relief. Dr. Paul, we always appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Take care.
All right, Melissa, over to you.
Well, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, author and journalist Cory Doctorow joins us ahead of his event here in Ottawa tonight. His new book explores why you're not imagining it. Everything on the internet is just getting worse, and he's standing by right there in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look for Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. So great to see that sunshine on this Wednesday. Still cold, feels like minus 28. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:44. You're a frequent user of services like Facebook, Uber, Amazon, and you're noticing that things online are getting worse. You're not imagining it. It's a phenomenon explored by Canadian author and journalist Cory Doctorow in his latest work looking at why everything suddenly got worse and, of course, what we could do about it. And we are so lucky because he joins us on the show this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's nice to be here.
So great to have you. Tell us a little bit about your book, because research that you have shows that things are just getting worse on the internet, and I think a lot of us are feeling it.
Sure. So I've worked for a nonprofit in the United States called the Electronic Frontier Foundation for about 25 years. And for 25 years, we've watched bad tech policies that reward companies for getting worse, and we've watched the companies get worse.
Okay.
A good example might be Google, which was allowed to be a serial acquirer. They bought many of their direct competitors. They were able to maintain dominance in that way. They were able to, for example, bribe Apple $20 billion a year not to enter the search market. And then what we discovered during last year's antitrust trial in the United States is that in 2019, Google decided to goose its revenue growth by making the search worse. So you'd have to search more than once to get your result, and they could show you ads over and over and over again.
Oh, is there anything online that hasn't gotten worse or has kind of avoided this decline?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a great fan of Wikipedia and the Internet Archive, all these things you might call the public good internet. But these are mostly structured as nonprofits, and also very importantly, I think in the case of Wikipedia, it's effectively a workers' cooperative. Jimmy Wales, the founder, he really, to his credit, woke up one day and said, this is too important for me to run on my own. And he allowed the most prolific editors to form a committee that have the ultimate oversight on the content on Wikipedia. And he has routinely denied his suggested edits and policy prescriptions by this committee, because he understands that being smart enough to found Wikipedia doesn't mean that you're infallible and will always know what's best for Wikipedia.
Your book also covers a lot of U.S. policy. Are there any Canadian policies that you think should be enacted or should be in place?
Well, you know, it's funny because U.S. policy is Canadian policy, because for 25 years the American Trade Representative used the threat of tariffs to get Canada to mirror America's tech laws. The most ridiculous example of this is a law called Bill C-11, the Copyright Modernization Act, which was rammed through by two of Harper's ministers, Tony Clement and James Moore, in 2012, and it establishes a crime for changing how a technology that you own works, even if you don't violate someone's copyright. So for example, if you have an iPhone and you want to use someone else's app store, you can't modify your iPhone to take someone else's app store. If you have a printer and you want to use generic ink, you can't change the printer so it accepts generic ink. And what's amazing here is that the printer companies know it, and the cartel of 4 inkjet companies that run the industry, they've raised and raised and raised the price of ink. Ink is now $10,000 a gallon. It's the most expensive fluid you can buy as a civilian without getting a permit. It would be cheaper to print out this card full of notes using the semen of a Kentucky Derby winning stallion.
That's
right?
wild.
Now, Canada could have that business. We could be making the tools that allow everyone in the world to jailbreak their printers and install generic ink. That's a multi-billion-dollar business. However, because we passed this law, the Copyright Modernization Act, voluntarily prohibiting our own tech companies from making this otherwise lawful product in exchange for a promise of not having to have tariffs when we ship our goods to America, we are now in this circumstance where we're eschewing this revenue and Canadians are getting ripped off. So, you know, when someone threatens to burn your house down, unless you do as they say, and then they burn your house down, you don't have to keep doing what they say. You know, happy Liberation Day. Trump has opened up the space, ironically, for us to stop following the American lead in our tech policy.
Your book does end on a very positive note. Hope for the online world.
Yeah, well, you know, we have seen in the last 7 years an enormous upwelling of fury and political action against corporate concentration and the power of oligarchs. And we see it wherever we look. You know, Canada has historically had the weakest competition regulator in the world. It was a joke. The Competition Bureau, in its history, had only challenged 3 mergers, but that's okay, because it never succeeded in challenging a merger, including the merger that created CTV Bell, right? And reduced the opportunities for people like you to find work. If you lose this job, you've got a lot fewer employers you can go to now, and reduce the opportunities for Canadians to get diverse points of view. And in 2024, Justin Trudeau was hardly a paragon of anti-corporate action, whipped his caucus to give our Competition Bureau the most sweeping powers of any competition regulator in the world. And that's not because he wanted to do it, it's because Canadians, like everyone in the world, are fed up with living in a country that's 3 monopolists in a trench coat.
And where could people find your book, Corey?
So my book's published by one of the big 5 publishers, Macmillan. It's distributed here in Canada by Raincoast. You can buy it at every great Canadian bookstore. It's a Heather's pick at Indigo. Independent bookstores have been very good about carrying it. It's in its 11th week of publication and in its 10th printing. So if you can find a copy, you can get it.
Congratulations.
Well,
and thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. You're welcome. Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, if you are looking to make a last-minute trip this winter, we'll tell you about some good winter travel destinations right here in our country. Our Winter Adventures Week continues. Coming up a little bit later on. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back. It is Wednesday, January 28th. We got some milestones to celebrate with you this morning. We're kicking it off with a happy 7th birthday to Riley. Have a great day at school. Love Mommy, Daddy, Madison, Kobe, and Brooklyn. Next up on the list, happy 6th birthday to Lane. Love Mommy, Daddy, Kala, and Finnan. Double digits, baby. Happy 10th birthday to Ethan. Love from Mommy, Daddy, Keon, Emma, Ricky, your sisters, aunts, uncles, and all of your cousins. Woo woo, look at that. Fly birds fly. If you have a milestone celebrated with us, send us your birthday announcements, 13 or younger or 100 years or more. Wedding anniversaries, 50 years or more. Just email us your Morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we will be sure to get that announcement on air. Taking a peek outside. Oh, look at that. The sunshine. Something we haven't seen a lot of over the last little while. Just providing us with some serotonin midway through the week. Happy hump day, all. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, January 28th. A chaotic commute Tuesday night as an LRT train stops in the middle of rush hour. Some city councilors want the city to make it up to riders as issues on Line 1 continue.
The roads weren't much better yesterday, with OPP officers responding to several collisions on the 401 between Kingston and Toronto during sudden snow squalls. And our winter adventure week continues. We recommend some great Canadian travel destinations for this time of year. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, or good morning if you're just joining us. I'm Will Yellow. And I'm Melissa Lamb. Rosie is away for today.
She's away today, and we got you covered. If you have to ride any transit throughout the day today, still bundle up because we're still seeing some issues. As OC Transpo does outline a plan to fix the new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders, though, are complaining after there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute. While the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video you see here, saying that the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period and that everyone aboard was held on it for an hour before they were allowed to evacuate and walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. The images you see here were captured at Lyon Station. There was such little room on the platforms that people had to wait on the stairs, and some riders suggest that there was little information provided and temperatures were feeling cold yesterday. This comes as OC Transpo provided more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop, a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
And frustration continues because as of right now, there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and a large closure between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. Police say she was not badly injured.
We are learning how much it will cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417.
Canada's Prime Minister is standing firm amid suggestion from the Trump administration that he is softening his tone since his speech in Davos.
To be absolutely clear, and I said this to the president, I meant what I said in Davos. It was clear, it was a broader set of issues, that Canada was the first country to understand the change in U.S. trade policy that he had initiated, and we're responding to that.
Carney says he stood by his speech during a phone call with U.S. President Donald Trump. The 30-minute conversation covered Arctic security, Venezuela, and Canada's agreement with China. But 12 hours earlier, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said he was on that call and characterized the conversation differently.
Spoke to Prime Minister Carney, who was very aggressively walking back some of the unfortunate remarks he made at Davos.
Carney says he reiterated in his conversation with Trump that Canada is responding to the change in U.S. trade policy by building new partnerships abroad, including with China. And Carney says Trump understood that. Canada's premiers start 2 days of meetings today in Ottawa. Their winter meeting comes ahead of CUSMA's review this year. The economy, affordability, and trade are expected to be high on the agenda. Prime Minister Mark Carney will host a working dinner with the premiers tonight before their meeting tomorrow.
Hospital food has never been anything to write home about, but the Ottawa Hospital is hoping to change that. The hospital teamed up with restaurateur Stephen Bechta to create the menu focused on calories, protein, and fiber. It includes a Spanish omelet with roast potatoes and tomato salsa, butter chicken and mushroom and lentil sloppy joe with root vegetable chips. The trial menu was piloted last year for some units at the General and created positive reviews.
What we want to do is have that reset, make sure that our menu is both healthy, nutritious, and delicious, have meals that patients want to eat, and will ideally lead to positive patient recovery.
The hospital serves around 3,000 meals each and every day. The pilot project took place on 4 units at the General campus, but there's no timeline on a full rollout.
We're getting a first look at a new docu-series on the complicated past of America's Next Top Model.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. I haven't really said much, but now it's time.
Whew. Drama.
Yes.
The trailer shows the most controversial moments in the series' history and focuses on a number of past contestants. Judges and Tyra Banks herself, who admits she sometimes went too far with her behavior as host.
Reality check inside America's Next Top Model starts streaming February 16th, and you bet I will be watching. I remember America's Next Top Model when it used to be on, and it was harsh. And, you know, I think reality TV has changed a lot since then, so I don't know if it was over theatrical on purpose and if a lot of it was like acting or if it was actually legit. But if it was legit, like it was nasty. Yeah, it wasn't nice. Like I used to feel bad for the contestants all the time. And I'd think, why would you want to go on that show? Like they just poke at you nonstop all the time. It's horrible.
And to have Tyra Banks kind of walk back, obviously, some of the attitude or some of the words that she said in the past goes to show you that if she's not happy with what she said, she probably thought it was a little bit harsh.
Yeah,
but I never caught an episode, so I'll look to you for the advice as per usual.
Yes, I'm looking forward to catching that. Our forecast today, we're going to see some sunshine, which is beautiful. Can't wait to see sunshine throughout the day ahead. The sun will set at 5:03 p.m. tonight, so now that sun is setting after 5 o'clock, which is great news. It makes for a nice long day. Temps still cold this morning, a little windy out there as well. We're sitting at -20, does feel closer to -28 this hour. So cold start to your morning and chilly across the region, -22 in Pembroke, -16 in Kingston, -18 currently in Brockville. So we are seeing clear skies, sunshine this morning. We'll continue to see sunshine in through the afternoon. Now late in the day today, throughout the evening, that's when we could start to see some flurries in the forecast, some light flurries overnight and in through your early morning hours tomorrow. It will be cold tonight, but not as cold as it has been over the last few days. Daytime high today, -10. We will still be below seasonal. Average for this time of the year is around -6 degrees. So we will be below that throughout the region. -10 in Petawawa, -11 in Kitigan, Zibi, -10 is your daytime high over in Gatineau. But we will warm up as we head in through the weekend, and we have lots of sunny days ahead. -16 is the low for tonight. Again, those flurries in through your overnight and early tomorrow morning. Flurries for Thursday and through Friday. It will stay cold as well. -12, -14 are your daytime highs. Slowly warming up as we head throughout the weekend. Still cold Saturday, but at least the sunshine is back. It will be nice and sunny. Then as we enter February, milder conditions. We will be in the -single digits. Finally, it's been some time since we've seen warmer conditions like this. Sunday and through next week looking much milder and so much sunshine to start off your February. On your road, still traffic disruptions northbound Prince of Wales at Hunt Club due to a disabled vehicle. Saint Laurent northbound, the left turn lane is also closed at Smythe Road due to a disabled vehicle. Eastbound on the 417, seeing buildup at Eagleson and through Bronson, heading west on the Queensway volume at Hunt Club in through Parkdale this hour. Westbound on the 174, slowdowns at 10th line, which bleeds into the 417. And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, if you're looking to make a last-minute trip this winter, we'll tell you more about some great winter travel destinations right here in Canada. Our Winter Adventures Week continues up next. Here's a live look for Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. So great to see the sun shining on this beautiful Wednesday. Still cold. Feels like minus 28 this hour.
Today's snow report brought to you by Sommet Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
Here are your ski and snowboard conditions for this Wednesday, January 28th. Edelweiss, 2 of 5 lifts open, runs over 50%. Lots of snowfall over the last few days, so conditions are looking good. Let's take a peek across the board, shall we? Here's a look at Mont Cascade, 3 of 6, runs 15 of 21. Calabogie Peaks, 100% of the lifts are open, as well as Vordelage. Camp Fortune, 5 of 7. More snowfall on the way. Still a little bit cool out there, so bundle up. But it is a great time to hit the slopes.
JS here again. For the best possible learn to ski experience, visit our terrain-based learning facilities here at Summit Edelweiss.
Our Winter Adventures Week continues today with some travel tips for those looking to plan maybe a last-minute getaway within Canada this winter. Travel expert Lorraine Simpson is here to tell us about what you can do and where to check out this country this time of year. Good morning, our friend.
Good morning.
All right, I want to go as far west as possible to a degree from here in Ottawa. Where are we starting with today?
Well, I'm here in Victoria at the moment, and it's absolutely glorious. No snow. It's a beautiful winter temperature, and it's sunny. It's just everything that you want in winter if you don't want to be in the snow. And so, of course, year-round, you've got whale watching. It's a fantastic time of year to do whale watching. And there's lots and lots you can see out on that river. There's loads of history, and the islands are gorgeous. There's my goofy son there, and it's just such a fun thing to do. We did see lots of whales, and I just love it. But then if you want to go indoors, you've got these sort of lovely workshops that they're setting up, these community-based projects that I am a really big fan of, and things like knitting and watercolor painting, and foodie ones like making sourdough and soap making. But what are you going to do in the evening? Well, you can go in a floating hot tub on the gorge, outdoors in a floating hot tub, or you can go into an old 1940s river barge, which was from the war, believe it or not, and have a sauna. It's a very cool thing. And then, of course, there's the afternoon tea, or as we call it in Canada, high tea. And that is really spectacular at the Empress, and famous at the Empress.
Well, Lorraine, seeing how fast that boat was going and the wind speeds out there being bundled up, I feel like the hot tub and sauna were the perfect thing to do after something like that. West Coast, always beautiful no matter the time of year. But we're going to come a little bit closer to us here in the capital for option number 2.
Okay, option number 2, let's go over to Quebec. Foodie capital, old world charm, cobbled streets, just gorgeous places. Feels like you've gone to Europe, but the Glass Hotel, Hotel du Glace, it's built every year, rebuilt from scratch every year, and you can actually stay in the Hotel du Glace. You can, now they do give you a room in the actual hotel as well, just in case you got too cold and you couldn't stay there. But they give you these sort of warm skins to go over the bed and everything. So people have stayed and absolutely love it. It's everybody's bucket list in Canada, I think. And then you've got this amazing wellness center, which I found a few years ago because it actually offers people that need a bit of rest and respite, you know, somebody who may be a carer, and it's run by a charity, and it's an Augustinian monastery that dates back to the 1600s. It's right in the center of old Quebec, and you can stay there for about $100 a night. And the thing is with this place is that it's kind of a retreat of wellness and quiet, but very affordable and wonderful. I mean, it really is a beautiful feeling place when you go in there. So that's definitely something that I would highly recommend. And of course, you know, the foodie. I've said the foodie thing. It's the foodie capital.
Hey, Lorraine, you know we always love a good meal while we're on one of these trips. You know, and embracing the winter weather, Quebec City has so many great things to offer. And the final one for you, it might surprise a lot of viewers. Which one?
Well, it's a wild card here. Let's go to Manitoba. I mean, easy flight straight into Winnipeg. But the Churchill has been the Northern Lights capital year-round. There's about 300 nights a year that you can actually see the Northern Lights. So they've capitalized on that, and they've built yurts, and you can stay in these yurts, and you can actually eat in restaurants underneath the stars. Absolutely spectacular views. I mean, look at that. The lights, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then let's go back into Winnipeg. You've got the frozen skating trails, which at one point they were actually they were in the Guinness World Records for the longest skating trails. It's about 6 kilometers in total, and you can skate there. It's on the Nestawaya River Trail. That's a really great option to do. And of course, you've got this record-breaking snow maze with a snow restaurant. And then if you really want to warm up after that, there's a Scandinave spa. And who doesn't love a Scandinave spa in the winter? Year-round, you know, going into the outdoor pool with the heat and the steam rising from the pool. It's just wonderful. Great experience.
It is so nice. And Lorraine, we thank you for your time today. But before I let you go, you're out on the West Coast. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, pop on a wetsuit, head out and get some surfing done on behalf of me, okay? Can you do that for me?
No, but that sounds really interesting. I bet loads and loads of people. I did see people in kayaks and canoes and on surfboards here yesterday, and they seem to be having a great time. I'll let you do that when you come out here, Will. But I'll take some pictures for you. How's that?
There we go. You know what? If you send me some whale videos and pictures too, then we'll call it even, and then we can talk about the surfing in the future.
Amazing. Those images, we actually made our own TV show during the pandemic, and some of those images were used from that, and it was so much fun, and I really fell in love with this place while we were out here at the time. So I'm really grateful to be back. It's a fantastic city, and the island has got so much to offer.
No surprise. Thanks for your time, Lorraine.
Thank you.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, if you or your child is finishing the school year, they could benefit from a gap year. We'll tell you some details coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If your child is graduating from high school this year, they may still be unsure what they want to do in the fall. One option they could consider is a gap year or a discovery year. And joining me now is Jake Goslin to tell us more about the gap year. Good morning to you.
Morning, Melissa. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here and to learn more about this. Can you kind of give us the details on the gap year, the discovery year, and what kind of your company does?
Yeah, so we're a structured and purposeful gap year. So we're actually a registered career college in Canada. So parents can use RESPs, which they love, and we help our students build a lot of leadership and career development skills. It's a one-year program. It's very comprehensive, and it's a great community.
And so would you say there's lots of benefits to taking this gap year?
There are indeed many, many benefits that people often don't think about, yes.
Okay, so one thing you say is self-awareness. Can you kind of explain?
Yeah, so our students leave the program having a much better understanding of who they are, what they're interested in, what they're not interested in, what they're good at, what they want to become good at, their own values, what they care about in the world. And these are many things that students just haven't had the time to think about, really, if they've been going through the traditional school system. So they learn a lot about who they are and what they want in life.
It's almost like you're too busy studying and in school that you don't really know who you are as a person.
Yes, just focused on get me the 95% average so I can get into the program I want. Yeah.
All right, moving on. You say confidence. It helps to build confidence as well?
Yeah, by far the word that parents and students use to describe the changes in themselves when they leave the program is confidence. 100% of people say I'm more confident. Not only do I know who I am now, but I have much more confidence in actually going out into the world and making these come these things come to fruition for myself.
Okay, that's wonderful. Up next, you say communication skills.
Yeah, so in Discover Year, we've spent a ton of time working on communication, both interpersonal communication. So how do I walk up to someone, introduce myself, have a conversation without shying away or being too nervous? And also a ton of time working with them to learn how to listen effectively to others, build relationships, and then professional communication as well, networking, pursuing jobs effectively, doing polite persistence, as we call it. It's really, really helpful for them.
So it's not really taking like a year off, as you kind of imagining it, right? It's more that transition between maybe high school and post-secondary. Is that what you say? Like it helps bridge that gap?
Yeah, it's very much a gap bridger for us, for our students. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's incredible. Last point you say is it helps build resilience.
Yeah, so our students meet dozens and dozens of amazing mentors throughout the year. They go into the world, they travel, they do community service projects, and through all these experiences, they realize, oh, it's totally fine and normal that I'm 18 and don't know what I want for the rest of my life. Almost nobody knows what they want to do as a career for 40 years when they're 18. And they just go through a lot of uncertainty in different situations, especially when they're traveling. And they build a lot of confidence and understanding, hey, like failure happens. It's okay. It's useful. Let me take advantage of it.
And so what sorts of things do the students in your program get to do?
So they work. We meet every Wednesday, so they have over 200 hours of programming with us. All Wednesday we do workshops on all different types of skills. We go out, we'll probably come to CTV actually in a couple of months to do a tour. They experience a lot of different things in the community. They do community service projects, they travel, they get a personal coach that they're matched with throughout the year, and they meet all kinds of amazing facilitators and mentors in the program. So it's a very comprehensive program, but most of the week they're working. They're making money and hopefully saving some money for their futures during the week is what they're mostly doing.
Perfect. And how can people learn more?
The website is discoveryear.ca, and the deadline to apply in our first round is actually coming up February 15th. So anyone who's interested, take a look.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, Taste for Hope is a foodie's dream come true. The Shepherds of Good Hope join us to share all the details and how funds raised help the most vulnerable members of our community. Our guests are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Delorier kitchen. We are getting things cooked up with some more details coming out later on. Taking a peek outside through our sky cam. Ooh, look at that beautiful sight. Frosty, but sunshine filled through the day. We'll be right back.
Happy Wednesday. It is 8:30. I'm Melissa Lamb.
30 minutes left on Willow Yellow, and happy Wednesday, everybody. Rosie is off today, so we got you covered over the next little while. We still have our kitchen segment, and it's a good one today because we're going to talk about the Shepherds of Good Hope, but then, of course, with a delicious meal prepared at an event they're having.
Oh, Taste for Hope. It's such a great night and evening out, so you'll have to come this year.
Yeah, I know
I don't think you've been years past.
No, because now that I'm finally back, I know you've been there previously, so I can't wait to get a little taste of that. All right to our news headlines. OC Transpo outlines a plan to fix the new issues plaguing Line 1. LRT riders are complaining after there was another stopped train during last night's rush hour commute. And while the issue was resolved, it has not stopped the online frustration. A Reddit user posted this video you see here saying that the train was stuck near Pimisi Station for a lengthy period and that everyone aboard was held on it for a full hour before they were allowed to evacuate and walk beside the tracks to catch a connection. Meanwhile, the disruption led to major crowding at stations along the Confederation line. These images you see were captured at Lyon Station. There was such little room on the platforms that people had to wait on the stairs. Some riders suggest there was little information provided. This comes as OC Transpo provides more details on the work being done to the trains that were taken out of service.
You have to lift a whole train up, put up a train on jacks, drop, a bogie that weighs thousands of pounds. Each axle is very heavy, so it's a lot of intrusive work that needs to happen. It's not, I won't say it's overly complicated, but it is manual labor and it takes time.
And frustration continues because right now there is no timeline for when regular service will resume, and the city is still investigating the root cause.
It was a brutal commute for many on the 401 yesterday. Snow squalls led to several collisions and a large closure between Kingston and Toronto.
Thankfully, there were no serious or fatal injuries as a result of this collision today, but it is a very clear reminder of how important it is to slow down and give space between you and the vehicle in front of you.
The incident started rolling in before 9 a.m. and shockingly, no injuries were considered life-threatening. A truck burst into flames between Quinte West and Napanee, while poor visibility near Belleville led to a number of collisions. Vehicles even turned into snow-covered evidence, seemingly frozen in time. At the height of the weather event, collisions were being reported in a 100-kilometer stretch between Brighton and Odessa. And it wasn't just a truck that burst into flames. A woman was pulled from this vehicle. The burnt remains were then draped in spinach that had been tossed from a produce truck. Police say she was not badly injured.
We are learning how much it's going to cost taxpayers to purchase a private landfill in the city's East End. City Council will vote on a decision to finalize the $95 million purchase today. This will be funded through debt, covered by an increase in the solid waste fee. Staff say the $95 million is lower than its value, which was estimated between $110 and $140 million. The dump is located on Boundary Road between Divine Road and Highway 417.
Many people in southern Ontario felt the earth shake last night. According to Environment Canada, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake struck at 11:59 Eastern Time near Orillia and Barrie. Earthquakes Canada says there are no reports of damage and none would be expected. The quake was recorded southeast of Orillia, about 100 kilometers north of Toronto. People across the GTA and as far south as St. Catharines said they felt the shaking. This map shows where it was felt across southern Ontario.
The Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate announcement. It'll be the first of 2026. Economists expect the Bank of Canada to leave the benchmark rate unchanged. The rate announcement comes as the Canadian economy faces an uncertain future with the scheduled review of the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement coming up later this year.
A shocking moment at a town hall on the immigration crackdown in the U.S. A man lunged at Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and sprayed her with an unidentified liquid before being tackled to the ground. Omar was not injured, and authorities have not said what substance was sprayed. New stats from Ottawa Police shows a drop in local shootings. According to the service, there were 38 shootings in Ottawa last year, down from 52 shootings in 2024. Ottawa's police chief is crediting a proactive approach for the decline. However, overall reported crimes in the city are up.
Shoplifting is a growing issue for many Ottawa businesses. That's why Ottawa Police partnered with Massing's Your Independent Grocer in Centertown to crack down on theft and catch people in the act. Through Project Pantry, Ottawa Police arrested 12 people for shoplifting, laying a combined 78 charges. Of the 12 people arrested, police believe that some have ties to organized crime.
People are running away, going to a car right away and giving that that product to whoever's in the car in exchange for something, and whether that's money or whether that's drugs. We've seen that. So there's elements of organized crime certainly in these things, as well as people that are hungry or don't have the funds to perhaps buy the food, so they go and take it.
Chief Eric Stubbs calls this type of operation proactive policing, something Ottawa Police are looking to do more often across the city.
K-pop Demon Hunter fans, both young and older, will soon have a chance to collect a new line of dolls based on the movie's characters.
Sure, many people excited about this one. The dolls are inspired by Rumi, Zoe, and Mira, and will come with 2 looks, including dolls who sing Golden in their signature tasseled jacket. The toys will go on sale for all this summer.
Amazing. Still going strong, K-pop Demon Hunters.
I feel like these are just going to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Off the shelves. It's going to be one of those, like, if you want one, you have to be on it right away.
And you know what? Out in the summer, perfect time for an early Christmas gift.
Yeah.
On the early wish list.
And we talked about that earlier, like how early do you start planning for Christmas gifts? Like, hey, it's coming to the end of January. You might have to wait a long time if you get excited to give the gift, but that would be a good one for the Christmas time.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I do too. Our forecast today, you might love the sunshine, especially later on this afternoon. More of that on the way throughout the day ahead. And then tonight will be cold. Flurries in the forecast in through your evening overnight. Right now, we're still sitting at -20, so still a cold start to your day. Does feel closer to -28 with that wind chill. You can see windy outside right now in the city. -17 currently in Montreal. Same within Cornwall, Brockville, -16 in Kingston. Everybody's seeing a little bit of sunshine, some seeing a bit cloudier skies to start things off. For us here in Ottawa, it will stay clear this morning and through your early afternoon. Now, we could start to see some flurries later on this evening and especially into your overnight and early tomorrow morning. So a couple of days that we could see some flurries. Not a lot of accumulation on the way, so we won't have to deal with snow like we did yesterday where we had to shovel and dig out. None of that on the way for today, but we could see a bit more accumulation as we head towards the end of the work week. Today's daytime high still below seasonal, but not so bad. -10 is the high. We'll feel closer to -15. Similar across the region, -8 for Trenton as well as in Kingston this afternoon. -10 out in Petawawa. -12 is your high in Mont-Tremblant. Over the next 7 days, we're going to start to see a shift in temperatures and more sunshine on the way as well. So we will see overnight low of -16, still a little cold into the overnight, -12 for tomorrow, -14 for Friday. So chilly Thursday and through Friday, a little bit snowy as well as we see some flurries in the forecast. Then pure sunshine Saturday right through into next week. Now February arrives on Sunday. It will be much warmer for the arrival of February. -7 is your daytime high on Sunday, and it will stay in the minus single digits into next week.
Weather brought to you by Yeckendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
There is a disabled vehicle northbound on the 416 at Highway 417 ramp that has the left lane closed and is causing delays. Also, traffic disruptions northbound on Prince of Wales at Hunt Club Road due to a disabled vehicle. Traffic signals also not working. Albion and Rideau. Eastbound on the 417, seeing buildup beginning at Eagleson in through Bronson and heading west on the Queensway. Also, volume Hunt Club in through Parkdale.
Okay, picture this. Experience mouth-watering creations from Ottawa's top chefs, and all for a wonderful cause. Their signature event is coming up. Megan Hartley, the interim CEO, joins us, and we got Chef Steven joining us as well. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning.
I love this event. Way back when I used to be a part of it on the promo team. Melissa's been to it. Just for people to get a little bit of a taste of the event,
Yes.
give me some details.
Taste for Hope is probably one of the premier food events that happens in our city. 15 to 20 top chefs in Ottawa all come together serving some new and exciting delights for people who can come and enjoy while also supporting Shepherds of Good Hope.
I mean, how amazing is that? You get delicious foods, all for a wonderful cause. It's literally guilt-free, amazing food. Tickets go on sale today.
Today, 5 p.m. today, and we've got an early bird. So if you act fast, the first for 50 people will get a special early bird price.
I love that. And right before we get to some of the food that Steven has prepared for us, and I can't wait much longer because I don't know what he's doing right now, but even that just looks good. Tell us a little bit about the funds and what it does for the charity organization, especially with this event.
Yeah, the exciting part is all the funds raised go directly to people who are experiencing homelessness. Our immediate task is to get people out of the shelter system and into permanent homes. So one of the exciting things about us moving to Brook Street in Canada is it's right down the road from one of our largest supportive housing residents, where we have people who have exited homelessness and now have an apartment of their own. And that's exactly what this event is going to support.
Oh, it's so amazing. All right, Steven, I'm going to 180 spin over to you. Megan, come over here. Hey, no, don't cut me off. What do you got? Tell me about some delicious food that you got here that we're going to be seeing at the event.
Yeah, so at the event we have all the food's going to be really special. Our honorary chef, Chef Joe Thottenwell, has curated an amazing roster, about 15, 20 chefs. It's going to be producing a really special food. So I wanted to share something that's really special from Shepherd. So at our supportive housing at the Richcraft Hope Center over at 216 Murray, we have many Indigenous residents, and one of the items that they request often is traditional foods like Arctic char from north. So last night we served this Arctic char, and I wanted to bring it in this morning to share something that was special in our supportive housing.
Okay.
And that would be special here as well. So we have a pan-seared Arctic char with some nice lentils and vegetables, and then a little lemon honey yogurt. And we're gonna just do a little lemon zest on top.
Always a good call.
And then some little crispy spinach to garnish. And then we paired that with a little bit of bannock, a little fresh bannock. So this was pretty similar to the dinner that we served last night as a special meal for our residents in supportive housing.
I love that. And from a chef's perspective, when you have something like this, you know, chefs going head to head, what's the mindset of an event like that when they go in? Are they dialed in? Are they a little nervous? Are they excited to share the recipes?
There's a little bit of flexing going on because it as Megan said, it is like the premier food event. But chefs are so generous, and a lot of the chefs That'll be at the event. Also, give back to the community in different ways, but they give back in our community kitchen as well, whether it's through food recovery and in-kind food donations, or with acts of service, like doing kitchen takeovers like Chef David Benoit did, or Chef Joe Thottengal. Even one of the chefs, Chef Lizardo Becerra from Raphael, our first time cooking together was in the Shepherd's Soup Kitchen. So having all those moments in food with those chefs coming together to support Shepherd's is really phenomenal.
It makes it really special, right?
Yeah.
When you see that and you see the full circle moment there from
Yeah.
way back when, helping Shepherds of Hope and then having an event like this. So we've got the delicious food. What are some of the things that people can expect when they head to the event?
Oh, we're excited this year. We're bringing back our culinary clash. So that's some top community leaders that are going head to head to put together a special recipe on stage that evening. We've got some exciting food and beverages, and new this year is a VIP master cocktail class. So there's something for everybody. But I think the most important part is, just like Stephen said, that coming together and sharing in the amazing and special food that's being served that evening.
And I love the word he used, they're flexing, because you got to flex. It's a competition.
And they do.
And they do, and it's all for a great cause, for some delicious food. Tickets go on sale today at 5 p.m. If they want to get involved, where's the best way to get those tickets so they don't miss out?
Yeah, just visit the website tasteforhopeottawa.ca, and the tickets will be live at 5 and ready to go.
Love that. Guilt-free, delicious food for a wonderful cause. Thanks to the two of you for joining us today, and good luck to get your hands on those tickets, 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
All right. If you want to be involved in our kitchen, let us know. Great chef like Stephen and wonderful restaurant. Email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca, and we would love to have you on. We're going to take a peek outside. Stephen, what do you see out there?
It's cold. It's icy. It's brisk.
That's it? That's all you got? How cold?
Pretty cold.
Stephen says pretty cold, -20. Maybe feel like -25 with the wind chill through our Centennial Gas Skycam. So his food will keep us nice and toasty throughout the day. We'll be right back. OC Transpo staff have laid out an extensive plan to rectify the newly discovered spalling issue on O Train Line 1 that has caused dozens of train cars to be pulled from service, but it remains unclear when riders can expect a return to regular operations. And this comes after a chaotic commute on Line 1 yesterday after a train stopped in the middle of rush hour. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts. And Bill, I'm just going to let you go on this one.
Well, I wasn't going to talk about it at all, and then I heard you in your newscast talk about this update from OC Transpo, which is not an update at all. Here's the new timeline. Yeah, we don't have a timeline. You don't have a timeline? You can't even guess? Will it impact on the new Eastern Extension? Well, we're not sure yet. Let me help you with those things, okay? How long does it take to fix one axle? How many axles are on the train? Multiply one number by the other. That's about how long it's going to take to fix one train. Multiply that number by how many trains you have. And then, because your government, add, I don't know, multiple of 2, just double it, and then give us that number. I think they have a pretty damn good idea of how long it's going to take, but they don't want to say it out loud because it's just too far down the road. And then, as for the Eastern Extension, will it impact on it? Well, yes. I mean, the trains are going to be on the tracks longer. We know that time on the tracks equals these mechanical problems they're dealing with. Plus, you're going to put more people on them, and we don't have more cars. So, of course, it's going to impact on it. Absolutely infuriating, that they just, either they don't know, I don't know which is worse. They don't know, or they know and they don't want to tell us. Those are both very bad scenarios. I am sure happy I'm not standing out in -28 waiting for a bus or a train this morning in this city. If you're heading out to do that, you have my sympathy.
Yeah, Bill, and I don't know if you saw some of the video and some of the photos from yesterday, but people actually had to wait in the staircases during the -20, 25-degree weather because there was no room at the stalls because they were so crowded. And
Crazy.
A reminder, too.
Have you seen some of the stations on the new Eastern Extension, by the way? The escalators?
Yeah, it's bad.
Massively high, out in the wind, out in the open, no glass even to protect them. That's, and it hasn't even opened yet, and you can already see it's going to be a problem. Boy, we've just done such a terrible job on this system. Just awful.
And Bill, they're paying more for their pass this year.
Yeah, and I know somebody's suggesting maybe refunds. I would want one too, I suppose. But I think the best long-term solution is to find another way to get to where you have to go, because for the foreseeable future, and it's going to be a long while, OC Transpo is not the way.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. And bundle up if you're going to be taking any sort of OC Transpo transit over the next few days with the temperatures. But always appreciate your time, Bill.
And Will, thanks for ruining my day with that update. Appreciated that.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. You know, Will and Bill always rising to the positive side to enjoy your mornings.
Yeah.
Oh, remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on Newstalk 580 CFRE, weekdays from 6 till 10 a.m.
Fans are anxiously waiting for the return of Ottawa Senators goalie Linus Ullmark. With 30 games left in the season, the team is looking to claw their way back into playoff contention. Here's CTV's Dylan Dyson.
Ottawa Senators goaltender Linus Ullmark on the ice at the Canadian Tire Centre, but remaining on the bench come game time.
Oh, it's getting closer for sure. There's 2 goalies on the ice today, so.
Ullmark made his return to the game day squad in Sunday's 7-1 win over Vegas, but was not required in his role as backup goaltender. The Senators head coach Travis Green says Ullmark is game ready if called upon.
He wasn't on the bench the other night to just watch.
Ullmark has put the pads back on after his leave of absence from the team, which was announced 1 month ago. But the team says he's not ready to start games yet.
We're on his timetable, and he'll tell us when he's ready to start. Last game, he was ready to back up and knew full well that if need be, he'd be going in the net.
The Sens currently sit last in their division with 30 games left in the regular season. The players believe there's still lots left to fight for.
I think you can't look too far ahead. That's our message right now. Worry about tomorrow, obviously. It's a one day at a time kind of mentality.
Right now we're focused on Colorado and win that one and then move on to the next one.
And Ottawa is hoping its #1 goaltender will be ready to play a part soon.
When he's ready to play, he'll play. Do we miss him? Yeah, for sure. Do we want what's best of him? 100%. And no one's rushing him back. He'll play when he's ready to play, and we'll welcome him back with open arms.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
There's something special in every area. Join us for Your Neighborhood as we highlight the people and places that bring the National Capital Region to life.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Before we take a look at the last-minute forecast to see what you can prepare for the day, let's tell you what's on the show tomorrow. For your Thursday, young people are trying to quit vaping, and CHEO is sounding the alarm about barriers for youth trying to kick the habit. Plus, what do you need to know about sleep trackers and how they work? I love these segments. And our Winter Adventure Weeks continue with Park Omega. An hour outside of Ottawa. We got some great viz to show you from that one, too.
I'm nervous about the sleep trackers because is it going to be good or bad? Because I have one that I use at night, so.
Well, he'll probably re-bring up orthosomnia, where it could be great, but use it wisely.
At least we're getting to see some sunshine today, mainly sunny skies this morning, a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. A daytime high today, -10. We'll feel closer to -15. Then the evening, as you see, a chance of those flurries in the forecast for us this evening, which will continue overnight. But don't worry, Thursday, Friday, cold and snowy. Saturday, Sunday, pure sunshine. And February is arriving much milder. Look at that, single digits for temperatures next week. So I'm looking forward to seeing some warmer conditions because it's been a cold one.
I'm also just happy to see some sunshine in the forecast today because it hasn't just been cold and snowy, but it's been cloudy. And thank you for providing February with a wonderful start.
You're welcome. I'll take credit for that. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.